Hello! I received a mail from a fellow called Daniel Osse, asking me to do a breakdown for Chang. So that's what we're going to be doing today. As soon as I get myself some sound.
The King
Yeah.
of Fighters 14.
Very good. Yeah, at least I can hear what's going on now. Yeah, so Chang. Not my most favorite character for King of Fighters, but I don't really hate him either, so I don't mind. Let's do Chang. I suppose it's probably worth noting that he's not a very combo heavy character. So I'll just point outright that the combos that I do at the end of this breakdown are not going to be the most amazing things you have ever seen. They'll be quite normal, I suppose. But let's do it. See what Chang can do. Okay, something important to note right off the get-go is that I picked a character that's tall, mostly because of his standing C, which hits like that, so that you can actually see that it does connect. If you pick someone short, like Chen or Choi, that's going to whiff completely, so just bear that in mind. It's a very high attack. Good for, I suppose, folks that like jumping around. You just kind of like whop it above their head. But standing C, standing far C looks like that. It is very slow, and you can't get anything as a follow-up afterwards, unless you try, you know, your quick max. In which case, yeah, almost everything is possible. In that case, I think you could probably even do a standing D next to someone. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so you can combo stuff like that if you really want to. The standing D, that D close is quite interesting too, because that's very much a Capcom versus SNK 2 standing D. He does that move, and even though it's not cancelable, you can get a throw straight off it. So his normal command grab, you can see there he does 4 hits, but if you do the close D straight into it, you really get 5. So it does act as a sort of a combo. That's interesting to note, and I do a combo that involves a couple of more hits before that as well. So that's standing far C. Close C is an immediate knockdown, and it is in fact an overhead. So you'll see that the computer blocks that one standing. He won't duck to avoid it. Let me see if I put him duck. Let's crouching quickly. I'll do this. Yeah, so the computer, the AI will stand to block that because it counts as an overhead. And that's the close to Xanadu. That's the close D. If we do a far D, it's this very cool looking kick. It's got quite a bit of range on it, you know. So even from standing, you can throw it out and you can get someone. Whereas the other attack, his standing C, pretty much is the same on a standing opponent. Nope, not even. Okay, so you're not gonna get that. Standing D, definitely a very good poke of sorts. And then the good news, none of those are cancelable. So you can't cancel that. You can't cancel that. So yeah, you can cancel before the attack comes out, but nothing cancels there. So none of those standing attacks are cancelable at all. If we take a look at the standing weak attacks, he's got pretty good jab. Let's put our opponent on crouching again. He does in fact hit crouching. Standing A, and then far B, standing B. Not very good with the range at all. Yeah, so the close version also not very good with the range, but at least cancelable. The far version, is that cancelable? Try this. Oh, it is. Alright, so the far version of the B is in fact cancelable. Yay. I guess. Yeah, no, it cancels. And the far version of the A does not. Alright, so let's move to crouching. If we do his crouching attacks, he has... Actually, let's do the close first, eh? Close B. Yeah, close B. Cancelable. There we go. So you can cancel that, and the A also cancelable. So you can cancel both standing attacks. Crouches, also again very short range. The crouching A, you can at least do 3 of those. On a jump in, you probably do less. I think it's a bit strict to get all 3 in. Can be done. And then his crouching B can't be chained into anything else, but is cancelable, so you can cancel it. Yeah, there's no chains or links anywhere in that other than lots of crouching A's. But we can move on to 2 of his best assets. The first is his crouching D, which is incredibly fast, and it does allow you to cancel, which allows you to set up for kind of like the block attacks. So if someone blocks your sweeps the whole time, you get yourself a free chip on this fella. You know, and chip's big. Change up the timing a little, you can use the other special attack. So that's useful. And then the most useful thing is his down and C, which is a launch. And that's amazing because almost everything follows up after that. So it's cancelable, and you get attacks off it. We're going to charge back, and his forward and his punch gets you an attack. Whole bunch of things you can do. Big damage or something as silly as that. So that's definitely something you should be doing with Chang, anti-airing all day. And if you get the option, obviously, try and combo that in somehow. I think the best way to do it was his next move. I will get along that in a minute. So yeah, crouching's all sorted. Then also something very useful when you're playing with Chang is his blowback attack, his CD, which has incredible range, and is to me the one way I would start to do combos with that, because you can get in quite easily, and if you want to see that's where your super combo is going to go, that's probably one of the ways doing it. Using his blowback attack to make those kind of wall combos and those carry combos and things. Looking at his jumping attacks, you shouldn't be jumping a lot with anything other than fierce kick, weak kick, or his blowback, which is amazing. You control the air with this thing, so that's very useful. Jumping CD is what you use air control for. The jumping A can be used to like air-to-air exchange, but really the jumping B is the king of the castle here. That thing hits so low that you can start your other combos from that. So you can do that kind of stuff. If you must jump in, that's what you should be using. The D version also works, but your timing is a little bit more strict. And then obviously the amount of pushback that you get from something like that means that you won't be doing a lot of jabs. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. Same kind of deal. Do that kind of stuff. Alright, so that's his jumping attacks and his blowback attacks. Everything pretty much sorted. Looking at the specials, he doesn't have too many, but they all count. So he's got charge back, forward, and A. Looks like that. Charge back, forward, and C takes a bit longer. And on those he has some auto guard. So if someone's throwing something while his back's turned, he'll absorb hits. The other moves that he has is punch in quick succession. He does the ball swing, and that's the A version. That's the C version. And they both look like they take you around about the same time. You can also cancel that, so you can break it by pressing A and B, so that he'll stop and won't swing continually. which is also useful for playing a couple of mind games, doing something where you're swinging and some guy expects you to suddenly, you know, carry on and you stop. Other than that, it's very good for chip. So if you're using the ball swing and you're nailing someone to chip in the corner, just go for it. Go for the whole thing, and then vary your break in between so that you get lots of chip. And then once someone's become accustomed to that, vary the break every now and then. So when he tries to punish, at least you're ready. You're a bit safer. But yeah, really try and use it in his combos if you can. Make sure you get your hit confirmed with your ducking A's first. Yeah, and that's those specials. Then he has his command grab, which is half circle back forward and either A or C. And that does 4 hits, the C version as well. And like I said, this is the one time where his close D will actually combo into something, so just remember that as well. Looking at the EXs of those, because those are basically all his specials. You can take a look at the ball swing, which draws people in, but only within a certain distance, not the entire screen. Whereas the other one doesn't. That's probably worth mentioning as well. If you're doing a ball swing, you can move, taking forwards or backwards. Let's see, the EX does that too. Oh, he actually stands still. Yeah, very still. Looking at the EX grab, there's more hits. Command grab. And really decent damage, so that's useful. Yeah. Chang's specials in a nutshell. Then we come to the last special, which is his charge back forward on both punches. And this one gets interesting because it launches on the second hit coming back. That's important to remember, because if you only get just the tip, you're not going to get 2 hits. So doing that a little bit closer means you get a launch. Doing it further away just means you get slightly extra damage. Just bear that in mind. Oh, there's follow-ups there. So ways to get really big damage out of that if you've managed to nail someone with it. And also it has an interesting property in the corner. If you do launch someone, the actual swings from behind him also allow you to get more hits. That kind of thing. So that's good to know. If you're in the corner and you're starting to beast, that's something you can use to get a bit more damage or go for that higher combo. And that's all his specials. Looking at the supers, he has 2, and both of them can be maxed before the climax. So his normal super looks like this. It's quarter circle forward, half circle back, and either A or C. And depending on how Chang feels, I guess you get different endings. So that was a belly bounce, and he just flew backwards. That's the boot, and that's the one that allows you to follow up with other supers. So if you get him kicking, you can follow up immediately with a level 2, and I have a combo that shows that as well. Or even the level 1, you can follow up, but you don't get as much damage. What else does he have? I think he has a splash. Oh, okay, he's got a slide. And then I remember he has a splash as well. I don't know how long we're going to try and do it to make it happen. I'm not sure if that belly bounce has a wall bound to it or not. I really was surprised to see that he does do that, but maybe it might be the 2-bar version, which looks like this. He adds in a couple of throws into his combo. And again, the same principle. So he'll have a varying bunch of enders, for which you can either follow up or not follow up. Yeah, slide. I could do this all day, but I won't. There we go, belly flop. I'm just curious if there's a way to do the super so that you get a specific outcome. Here's the bound that I was talking about. I think you can follow that up. I'm not sure, I haven't tested it. You guys are welcome to give me examples of things I can do later. And then he has his twice quarter circle forward and punch. This is an interesting property that there is an occasional time when he'll do the splat, and you really have to space it based on height. So some of the combos, for instance, that you do more damage because you get the second hit on when Chang drops. try that quickly. Oops. So, that one won't. What was the other one? I think charge back. Oh, that's right, it was like this. Alright, so there, for instance, that was just a level 1, but he did more damage on the way down as well. So depending on the height that your character is, you can do more damage using just the level 1. Level 2, very similar. Up straight in the hair. But as you can see, this one kind of, on its own, will do the belly splat. Which is interesting. Let's just try our other combo. See if we get the belly splat. Yeah, even on that one. Okay, so level 2 is where you're gonna get your belly splat most of the time and you get more damage. But yes, there are ways to do more damage using Chang. I mean, like, if someone jumps in on you and you've scored this thing and you're holding back, you're gonna get all your damage with just a level 1. And I mean, it's really good damage. So people jumping on Chang is generally what you want. You want them to try and jump in on you so that you can do your anti-air and get your combos. Alright, and then we have his climax move, which is half circle back twice and both punches. There we go. And it looks like that. And I think you can move him while he's doing it. No. No, he just spins around, gets dizzy and falls over if you miss it completely. And yeah, as you know, you can chain those from either supers or maxes. And what's interesting, if you're in the corner, you can change that into that big boot finish that he does, or from that big boot finish that he does, and you can cancel straight into it. I'm not actually sure what it does because I tried for Yonks and I got tired of waiting for him to do the kick. So if someone does that, you can show me what it does. But yeah, you can chain it normally. So you'll see he does 2 swings with the ball. When he's doing those 2 swings, that's when you can change it. There you go. You actually wait for both swings to finish first. If we do that. There we go. So you get the 2 swings, get all your damage. But if you compare the damage, you really see that that's not something you want to do unless you want to go for a flashy finish. I recommend trying to use his diving super, this thing, as much as possible. So if you see someone jumping at you, or he's in the air or something, you can use that, or if you're going to use your anti-air combo, that's the best way to do things, I feel personally. He's not a very complex character, like I said. Best assets are probably his sweep, good range, really fast, his blowback, a great way to start combos. Those kind of things are what you'd be doing with Chang for the most part. He's not a monster for meter usage unless you're just concentrating on using the 1 super. But yeah, that's the way I would play him. Anyway, I've done a couple of rather simple combos, and you can see them after this. Enjoy them.